Well, this is interesting because I'm a Dexter fan as well as millions of other people waiting for his new season to come out this fall. Before Dexter returns, Michael C. Hall is serving up killer new music. The actor's glam rock band Princess Goes to the Butterfly Museum unveiled its debut album this week. Turns out it's a compelling and delightfully trippy listen. Wow. Michael C. Hall will spend much of 2021 in killer vigilante mode as he films the hotly anticipated revival of Showtime's Dexter due out this fall. Hall's first order of business this year, however, is a more personal affair. For more than 3 years, the seven-time Emmy nominee has been the lead singer of Princess Goes to the Butterfly. Oh my God, wow, I never knew that. Yeah, an experimental rock trio based in New York. The band's first full-length album, Thanks for Coming, was released Friday, with song titles like Bombed Out Sights and Armageddon Sweet. The 14-track collection appears reflective of the quasi-dystopian realities of life in the COVID-19 era. In reality, however, Thanks for Coming is both groovy and compelling, with Hall's brooding vocals complemented by 1970s and 80s glam rock flourishes courtesy of keyboardist Matt Kesbohen and drummer Peter Yanowitz. Their willingness to experiment extends to the cinematic, if trippy, music videos for Crew World and Eat in a Racer. Like many bands, Princess Goes to the Butterfly Museum, whose name was suggested by Kat's brother, Bohan's young daughter, had planned to spend much of 2020 on the road. They also hoped to decamp to the famed Rancho de la Luna recording studio in Joshua Tree, California, to produce what they described as a desert rock album. Once the pandemic took hold, however, they were forced to eschew those plans and record much of Thanks for Coming remotely. The songs come in from different places. They are about different things, but inevitably the zeitgeist creeps its way in there. Hall said, one of us would have a musical idea and send it to the other two, and we'd sort of build a song remotely and then put it together in a studio in New York. So there's a lot lyrically that reflects the past several months, but also the past few years. As beloved as his performance on Dexter and HBO's 6 Feet Under remain, however, Hall is aware that the notion of film fronting a band could elicit, as he puts it, an eye roll among rock purists. After all, mid-career musical endeavors among established stars have traditionally been rocky ventures. Few, however, boast Hall's musical theater pedigree. He met Katz Bohen, who has played with Cyndi Lauper, and Yanowitz, a founding member of the Wallflowers and Morningwood, as Broadway castmates in 2014's Hadwig and the Angry Inch, and Princess Goes to the Butterfly Museum has already been given a very enthusiastic thumbs up by Blondie's Debbie Harry, who joined the band on stage during its performance at New York's Mercury Lounge in February 2020. A lot of people say, oh, wow, that's not what I was expecting at all when they see us for the first time, said Hall, who also worked on the stage musical Lazarus with David Bowie shortly before his 2016 death. I always take that as a compliment. As an audience member, you always want to be surprised musically or thematically or whatever. I'm enjoying that. We can sort of do that to people. Hall gets Bohan said Yankowitz is eager to return to the stage in support of Thanks for Coming as soon as it's safe to do so. In the meantime, Hall has begun work on the Dexter reboot after years of resisting calls for him to return to his best-known role. Though he's tight-lipped on specifics, he says the current script places blood splatter analyst turned serial killer Dexter Morgan in a different context. The new episodes he added will hopefully quell some of the backlash to the original's less than acclaimed finale. Wow. That is just weird. He's in another place in another circumstance and surrounded by different people, which is an interesting thing to consider. Hall explained, the more time that passed, the more compelling the idea of revisiting it became. It's a show that a lot of people loved, but with an ending that was very confounding. The chance to answer some questions was appealing. As for Princess Goes to the Butterfly Museum, the band hopes to release at least one more video from Thanks for Coming, and in the absence of touring plans, has already begun work on new music. There's a lot for musicians to do right now other than be in the studio. Yanowitz said, "This album was one thing that kept us sane. Just staying creative and engaged was one of the silver linings in a weird, fucked up year. Added Hall, it's one of the most magical things I've experienced in my creative life." Awesome. All right, so I did not know he was in a band, and you would expect, Dexter to be in a metal band or something, a death metal or something, But it goes to show you the stereotypes we have in our head. But I have not heard it, so I mean, I'm more of a metalhead, but I grew up listening to everything from old school rap to just about everything on the radio, so maybe I'll give it a listen. Has anybody else heard this band? If so, comment below and give a thumbs up and a like if you like this video, and I will have more content. Peace out, my fellow YouTubers.